Good evening, everyone. I'm Roger, and you're watching NFL Trending, your home for the biggest storylines, freshest insider updates, and the most important developments from around the NFL. Tonight, we focus on a rapidly evolving quarterback situation in Cleveland, Shedeur Sanders' next steps, Deshaun Watson's uncertain future, and what insiders are saying after watching Watson in practice for the first time in months. The Browns find themselves in a pivotal stretch that could define not only the end of this season, but the direction of the franchise in 2026 and beyond. Let's start with Shedeur Sanders, the rookie quarterback who came into the league with enormous expectations and even bigger spotlight pressure. From his time at Colorado under his father Dillon Sanders, to becoming one of the most talked about young prospects heading into the 2025 NFL Draft, Sanders arrived in Cleveland as both a promising developmental quarterback and a potential long-term weapon for a team desperately seeking consistency under center. But as the season progressed, injuries around him, coaching changes, a shifting offensive line, and inconsistent performances have placed him under more scrutiny than any other rookie QB in the league. Sources around the team say Sanders is now entering the most defining stretch of his season, maybe even his early NFL career. While he has showcased poise, arm talent, and flashes of star-level control, insiders believe that he must sharpen his decision-making, improve his pocket presence, and prove he can command a huddle in hostile late-season environments. One insider described the situation as critical for Sanders' trajectory, noting that the Browns are evaluating not just his physical skills, but his maturity, leadership, and ability to handle adversity in real time. Meanwhile, the most significant wrinkle in Sanders' story is the man returning to the practice field, Deshaun Watson. After months of recovery from a serious Achilles-related setback and long stretches away from full football operations, Watson has finally been activated into his 21-day practice window. This is the first real opportunity the Browns have had to fully observe him on the field since his season-ending injury. And while there has been plenty of speculation, tonight we have more clarity. Early reports from practice observers suggest Watson looked composed, patient, and methodical in drills. Though he was limited and did not participate in full-speed 11-on-11 action, he appeared comfortable making short throws, stepping into progressions, and reading early defensive shells. But insiders emphasize something important. This is still very early. Watson has not yet been truly tested in live-speed football, and no one inside the organization is pushing the narrative that he is close to taking full reps. Instead, the messaging has been measured, cautious optimism, but rooted in long-term health, not immediate availability. One source connected with the Browns coaching staff said, "Watson looks good for someone coming off that injury, but the real test hasn't come yet. We're evaluating movement, confidence, and consistency. We're not making any assumptions." That is a meaningful statement when you consider the multi-year investment Cleveland has tied into Watson. But the question remains, where does he fit into the future? Many analysts have pointed out that Watson's contract complicates things. Not only is it heavily guaranteed, but its structure impacts Cleveland's flexibility in future free agency cycles. Some insiders believe the Browns will eventually have to make a decision: continue with Watson, restructure elements of the roster to support him, or pivot fully to youth. Sanders and fellow rookie Dillon Gabriel have made this dilemma more urgent, showing flashes of potential that suggest the Browns could develop an entirely new quarterback identity. But let's stay with Sanders for a moment. His future is not guaranteed, despite the moments of brilliance he has produced. League insiders have described these upcoming games as his evaluation window. That is, every snap, every read, every decision he makes in the coming weeks influences how the Browns view him heading into 2026. Will he be a long-term QB1? Will he remain part of a committee approach? Or will the Browns consider alternatives? Those questions are being asked inside the building right now. Interestingly, several players and coaches have praised Sanders' professionalism. Reports indicate that he has been putting in extended hours in the film room, often the last to leave offensive meetings, and working closely with trainers to remain healthy down the stretch. This commitment has impressed several veterans who believe Sanders has the intangible qualities needed for long-term success. Now back to Watson. Observers at practice noted that Watson appeared more comfortable than expected after such a long absence, but still understandably rusty. What the Browns want most from him right now is presence, leadership, stability, and shockingly to some fans, his mentorship has actually been highlighted repeatedly by the coaching staff. They've noted that Watson has been extremely supportive of Sanders and Gabriel, sharing insights, helping with coverages, and guiding them through mentally complex game situations. This version of Watson, the veteran teaching the younger core, is a role not everyone expected. But insiders say his presence has absolutely helped accelerate the rookie's understanding of the offense. That brings us to the franchise's biggest question: who will be the Browns' quarterback in 2026? The insiders aren't ready to answer, and neither is the team. What they are prepared to say is this: the next few weeks will be pivotal. If Sanders continues showing growth, he could secure the frontrunner position heading into next offseason. If Watson progresses better than expected and shows true physical readiness, the Browns could lean on experience. And if neither fully convinces the front office, Cleveland may keep all options open, including drafting again, restructuring contracts, or making a surprising veteran acquisition. As of today, Watson is still weeks away from possible activation. Sanders is still the present, and the Browns are still navigating through one of the most intriguing quarterback puzzles in the NFL. With the season nearing its final stretch, fans should expect clarity soon, but nothing is guaranteed. What is certain is that Cleveland is evaluating everything, every day, with microscope-level detail. That's the story for tonight. We'll continue tracking every update, every practice report, and every insight from inside the Browns organization as this situation evolves. I'm Roger, and this is NFL Trending.